Alright, now that my brain has recovered from last week's video, it's time to check out the best modern preschool shows. To be honest, the current state of modern preschool shows is kinda sad. The only show that gets actively talked about in a positive light is Bluey. Everything else is just ignored at best, and absolutely despised at worst. But I want to make this clear. Not every modern preschool show is bad. In fact, I'd even say that preschool shows have gotten a bit better throughout the past few years. Obviously, there are still a few stickers here and there, but the good does outweigh the bad. So today, we're gonna count down the top 6 best modern preschool shows. Same rules as last time. I can only pick shows that are from 2019 onwards. Also, I'm just gonna say it right now. Bluey won't be on the list. I know, I'm definitely gonna get flack for this. But look, this doesn't mean that I don't like the show, quite the opposite actually, but it's not on the list for a few reasons. 1. It came out in 2018, so I couldn't pick it anyways, and secondly, I want to focus on other great shows that deserve a lot more attention. So, without further ado, let's begin. It's honestly a shame that Cartoonito shut down. They had some genuinely great shows on the lineup. But it never reached the same popularity as Nick Jr. or Disney Jr. If only Cartoon Network actually cared about it. But that's besides the point. By far my favorite show on Cartoonito is Batwheels. When I first heard about this show, I kind of rolled my eyes. I mean, really? A show based on Batman's cars? That just screams 20-minute toy commercial. But when I saw the show, it blew me away. The animation is fantastic. Unlike Disney Jr. shows, where everyone is as expressive as a plastic toy, Batwheels has fluid and bouncy animation, and it's really fun to look at. I also appreciate the darker colors. After all, this is a Batman show, which means everything takes place at night. And the action scenes are just phenomenal. Half of the time, I even forget that I'm watching a show for preschoolers. And the characters are just great. Seriously, I can't think of a single character that I don't like. Every character from the Batwheels themselves, to the villains, to even Batman himself, everyone has a strong personality. Do you know how easy it would have been to ruin Batman? They could have aged him down to be a kid, or they could have made him goofy or energetic for no reason other than to appeal to 2-year-olds. But no, he's still the calm, yet mysterious superhero we all know. Overall, I highly recommend Batwheels. It's easily one of the best modern preschool shows to date.
So keep trying, thinking, asking, now we're building, now we're laughing, we keep growing, ideas flowing, let's get going, Lyla in the Loop.
Lyla in the Loop is another show that I didn't have high expectations for. This was around the time where PBS Kids shows weren't really at their best. Not that they were terrible, but a lot of these shows fell into the boring category. And I was expecting this show to be the same thing. But after watching it, I gotta say, it didn't start off the greatest, but it did leave me pleasantly surprised. Lyla in the Loop is a simple, slice-of-life show about a family that runs a restaurant, as they solve problems and learn lessons in their everyday lives. Yes, I know, that sounds like the most generic preschool show of all time. And to tell you the truth, for the first few episodes, it kind of is. This show isn't a groundbreaking masterpiece, but I don't think it's trying to be. I think what really carries this show is the family dynamic. As the show goes on, we get to learn more about each character's personality, and it really balances out the generic problem-solving lessons. It's a nice balance between the likable and well-developed characters and the morals that they teach. That being said, I heard a lot of mixed thoughts about this show. Some people don't like the episodes where Lyla gets into a conflict with her friends, because it ruins her character. But honestly, I don't agree with that. If anything, I kinda prefer these episodes. It teaches kids that friends can fight sometimes and get into arguments. Would you prefer it if every character was all sunshine and rainbows, and never gets into conflicts? No, you wouldn't, then the show would be boring. Also, it gives depth to Lyla's character and it shows that she's not perfect. That makes her a much better character than other modern preschool protagonists. At the end of the day, Lyla in the Loop won't leave you going, wow, that was cinema, but if you like slice-of-life shows, then I'm sure it'll give you a fun time.
Welcome to the
Yeah, I know I'm kind of late to this, but why Nickelodeon? Why did you have to cancel the Tiny Chef show? It was so freaking good. Are you just allergic to any show that isn't Paw Patrol? Okay, now that I got that out of my system, let's talk about the Tiny Chef show. Most preschool shows teach kids about math, reading, problem solving, and social skills. But there aren't a lot of shows that teach cooking. Why not? I'm sure there are young kids out there who are interested in learning how to cook. Generally, the Tiny Chef show is really fun to watch. It's not very often you see a show use stop motion, because it's very time consuming and hard to get right. But this show's animation is simple, yet expressive. And it's one of the most visually unique modern Nick Jr. shows. And Tiny Chef himself is a great host. He's funny, quirky, and his antics are genuinely entertaining to watch. I like this show's pacing too. It's fast enough to keep you engaged, but not too fast to where the kids get overstimulated. Overall, I really enjoyed this show. It's simple, fun, visually unique, and it sets itself apart from other preschool shows. And I'll ask one more time. Why did Nickelodeon cancel this show? Like seriously, would it kill you to actually give us quality content for a change? I'd take another season of this over a billion seasons of Paw Patrol any day of the week. Wow, another Nick Jr. show. What a surprise. If you grew up in the 90s, chances are, you remember the Nick Jr. mascot named Face. As his name suggests, he was a talking face that would announce the upcoming shows. But in 2004, he sadly disappeared, never to be seen again. Until now. In 2022, he made his grand return for his very own show. What I especially like about Face's music party is how unique it is. Instead of preaching or shoving morals down your throat, it simply wants to give kids a fun time and teach them about the wonders of music. Each episode is filled with a variety of different genres of music, such as pop, country, rap, and more. And the songs are really fun to listen to. What I also like is that in some episodes, several Nick Jr. characters join the show. Not just as cameos, but they actually take part in the story. Heck, even the Backyardigans make a comeback in one episode. I could put this show on the list just for that alone. Overall, Face's music party is a blast to watch, and I totally recommend it. But honestly, that's what frustrates me the most about modern Nick Jr. They are capable of making great shows. Heck, even this year, they made some pretty darn good shows, but more often than not, they just choose to stick to endless Paw Patrol reruns and spin-offs. Hopefully one day, they can finally listen to our criticisms, and give us some quality content. Whenever I hear the announcement of a new superhero show on Disney Junior, I audibly groan. Because I'm just so freaking sick of these types of shows. They're all basically the same. They follow a group of kids who live their normal lives in the city, but when an evil villain shows up to cause trouble, they transform into superheroes and save the day. That's the setup for almost every show on Disney Junior nowadays, and it's so tiring. But does that mean it can't be done right? Well, thanks to Kiya and the Kimoha Heroes, I can safely say, the answer is no. This show is just fantastic. I don't know what it is, but there's something about this show that really puts me in a good mood. It has really charming writing that can appeal to both kids and adults. And it has some of the most well-written protagonists I've ever seen in these superhero shows. Kiya is kind, determined, but impulsive. Motzi is energetic, but short-tempered, and Jay is confident but somewhat arrogant. Wow, so it is possible to make characters good role models while giving them real personalities. Disney Junior, you better be taking notes. Oh wait, you actually made this show. So, you're telling me that you're capable of making good characters. Then what the heck are you doing with your other shows? And the other characters are great too. But my favorite would have to be the villain, Acrobrat. He's one of the very few preschool villains that's actually interesting to watch. His secret identity is Zane, a regular kid and even a friend of the heroes, but when something doesn't go his way, he turns into Acrobrat to terrorize the city. It's a very unique twist on the secret identity cliché. Overall, I highly recommend giving Kiya and the Kimoha Heroes a look. It's funny, charming, and it'll surely put you in a good mood. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. The #1 best modern preschool show is
She's Molly of Denali.
Yeah, this was a pretty predictable choice, wasn't it? I mentioned this show on this channel so many times, that it's crazy that I haven't made a full review on it yet. Don't worry, I will make a full review on this show eventually. So, why do I love Molly of Denali so much? Well, there are many reasons, but to put it simply, it's just so relaxing. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of slow-paced shows. If they're not handled well, they can get boring fast. But there's a certain charm to Molly of Denali that really gets me invested. It's honestly one of the most beautiful, yet simple shows I've ever seen on PBS Kids. We basically just watch a girl named Molly explore her world and learn about her culture. This is one of the few modern preschool shows I've seen that actually respects its young audience. It doesn't just shove morals down your throat. It lets kids absorb the lessons naturally, and I wish more kid shows did that. This show is a perfect combination of relaxing, educational, and entertaining. And that, my friends, is why Molly of Denali is the best modern preschool show. At the end of the day, modern preschool shows may be far from perfect, but it's good to know that there are still talented people out there who are dedicated to giving our young viewers great shows. And like always, I look forward to seeing what they make next. Anyways, that's it for this video. Let me know in the comments what you think of these shows. And until next time, party on.